Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Pod of War Gamescast, episode number 60. I'm your host, Uwe Gizmo, this week joined by Massive Das, Chris Mangeli.
Hello, everyone.
And the man, the myth, the legend is Mr. Craig Warren.
Hello.
You dirty little French sod. Anyway, boys, it's another week. As we've teased, we've watched the Game Awards. Chris has jizzed about Kojima. But we'll talk all about Craig.
I was going to say, Craig found his Arsenal Giroud shirt suddenly.
Olivier, what a player. Anyway, before we'll
don't talk about me here.
We'll talk about all this shenanigans off camera maybe. But before we get to all the fun, let's talk about what we've been buying, what we've been playing this week. Chris Pengeli, let us know what you've bought and been playing this week.
Bit like you, Dave, and not as extreme. I got my refund from Mr. Google for my Stadia and a couple of Stadia games. I ended up with £197 at 50p. And obviously still get to keep my Chromecast and my Stadia controller, which I don't know what I ever use that on come February, but you know. So I had that money, and I may have wandered into a video game store. And
by accident.
You fell.
Yeah,
you fell.
You're
but
trying to find the supermarket.
No, he was on his way to the gym actually, and then he fell and tripped.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, what's on there, guys? You don't have any stock of a certain console, do you? Oh,
Yeah.
I do. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I went to a video game store and I said, "Do you have this certain console?" And they're like, "Yes, we have a few of them. We have about, I think they said they had about 15 or so, and I was like, "Oh, I will take one of them." So I bought a disc-based PlayStation 5.
Well, we knew it wouldn't make it through the year, Craig, didn't we? We knew.
At least you don't have to waste time predicting what month it will be next year, because it's happened
Which
already.
month is he going to sell it, though? That's the...
Looking at my save files and stuff, the last time I actually played a PS5 game was September, obviously last year, so quite a while ago, in terms of when I played a PlayStation 5 last. So I picked one of them.
What did you buy with your... Obviously, Chris, you stashed 500 quid before you even started, so what games did you buy for your PlayStation?
Well, in game, like the PS5 selection on the like the sales floor was like pretty bog standard. It was, you know, your Call of Duty, Modern Warfares, your God of Wars, and your normal stuff. And I know that one of their other ones, they got like a decent size selection of PS5 games, or like random stuff. So if you got any random PS5 games, because I love random PS5 games, and like...
What you mean is the generic shit Japanese stuff. That's what you're like, right? I know you've got the good stuff here, guys, but where's the proper shit, eh?
Yeah, so they were pulling drawers open, and I was like, I can't really see. And then one they pulled up, and I was like, oh, well, there's the Pathless. I was like, how much is Pathless? Expecting it to be like $19.99 or something like that. It scanned for £1.98. So I picked that up with the PS5 in game.
Is this the second time you've bought this game now?
Yes, because remember the first time I bought it with my launch console, which was broken, then I've bought it now for £1.98. They said they had a few others. The other one they could remember was the purple-covered NBA game, which would be the launch one. So it looks like launch PS5 titles based on just those two. And obviously I wasn't going to go get them to scan every game and be there all day. Plus it was quite late in the evening. So that's all I got in game. I got the console and the Pathless for £2. It's pretty good.
But what else did you buy, Chris? Because I know you've sent me a list of games that you've bought. So what else did you buy?
Yeah, and then I wandered to another establishment, and
You happen to appear in there as well. Yeah? Freak coincidence! Twice in one day, you ended up in two different game shops.
Yeah, and in there, and I picked up what is going to be hopefully the best version of one of the best video games ever made. Over 200 Game Award winning, you know, the previous version. I picked up Last of Us Part 1 for PS5.
You say it's the best version, but how long is it going to be the best version before they do the remake, remastered?
Well, yeah, we've got the HBO edition probably come out next year, right? It's just the same game, but with Pedro Pascal.
I mean, I hope you're looking forward to buying that again in 12 months' time, Pengy.
Well, the PC version comes out March as we
Okay,
got.
get it for your
Oh,
Steam
lucky
Deck.
you've got a Steam
So
Deck for that.
So that would actually end up
It's all coming
probably
together now.
being the best version. Eventually, yes, I picked up The Last of Us Part 1 as well for my PS5.
You gonna? So did you play the original remaster?
I only played Left Behind from the original, from the remaster.
So this is your kind of first
Yeah, so
first
I
going
played,
of the remaster remake.
yeah, so I played the original release on PS3. I played Left Behind on the remaster because I never played Left Behind on PS3 because I think the PS4 was out by then, so I missed that. And then obviously I've got the remake to play now.
You're planning on playing it? Yeah, it's not just going on a
Yeah.
draw shop. Okay.
Yeah. I'm actually quite excited to play it, and I don't know if I'll play it right away or I'll play it like around when like all the first episodes of the show, and I'm like, oh, I want to play some Last of Us.
I thought the dreaded "I'll get to it at some point" was coming that day.
Chris's motto.
We had a trailer for I think it was like a week ago now of the show, and it looks pretty good. So getting that got me sort of excited. I want to play some Last of Us stuff, and it's like so I kind of basically done the Sony thing. So we're making a show. Here's the Last of Us game for people that want, excited for the show, which I am. So yeah.
Lovely. Have you played
it? Is that it? Is that it, Penguin? Did you not buy anything else?
No, I bought Pathless and Last of Us. That was it.
Exciting.
Yes.
Did you play anything?
I have played and got the platinum for Astro Bot Playroom, as it's called on the PS5, and got the DLC trophies as well. So got 100% on that. So that is been done. Which weirdly, because I'm I looked to see how rare the God of War trophies are, and Astrobot's actually rarer, but I guess that sort of makes sense because it's installed on every PlayStation 5. So, you've done one level, you've played the game where, I guess with God of War, if you spent 70 quid on it, you're most probably going to get quite far in and unlock the trophies and stuff. So I guess I can understand why Astrobot is the rarer trophy because more people have played it, so less percentage have decided to get the platinum. So I got the platinum of that. That's still really good, Astrobot, and now it's still great, showing how the DualSense works and all that good stuff. And then I've been playing God of War on it. So played from the PS4 to the PS5 version of it. So it's got some really cool the DualSense stuff on that, and even some little things like going down a rope and the noise of the rope and the vibrations and stuff like that, and the 3D audio. It's we're in a cave and it does sound different and stuff like that. The lighting does look a bit better. It just really shows how, because up until now it was at Horizon. Forbidden West is the best looking game I've played this year, and that was on PS4. I think it shows how good that PS4 version, because this does look better now. I'm running at 60 frames. I'm playing the 60 frames mode, which is way smoother. But it's this is actually really impressive what they were getting out of the PS4 Pro. And if you looked on Digital Foundry, the standard PS4 version, I know it's 30 frames and this is 60, and all the quick features all the DualSense and stuff like that. So yeah, that's it so far. I've played Astro and continued with my God of War, which, according to the PlayStation's time, because you can look at the times on your games on the PS5, I think it's 44 hours, but the in-game save I think is 42, and then I think it was 48 or something on True Trophies. So I don't know, 45 hours I've played of God of War, which I guess about 10 have been on PS5 and 30 on PS4 roughly.
Are you still gunning for that platinum?
I'm tricking around doing it. I'm picking up the Berserker.
Oh, that's that doesn't sound promising there, Dave. That wasn't a definitive.
No. I've got 26 of 36 of the trophies at the moment, which I think is 66%. And something saying I think I've got 7 of the 12 Berserkers, so I'm currently going around doing them at the moment, which is like the Valkyries of the previous game. So that sort of thing. And some of the collectibles I spent this morning like going to get all the flowers sort of thing for one of the collectibles after finishing the main game, like 1 o'clock this morning. So
nice. And so before we move on to me, was Astro's Playroom your 50th platinum, Chris?
yes.
Well, first of all, congratulations, Chris, to get to 50 platinums.
Yeah. But technically, it's my 57th completion. If you look,
we were just talking about platinums, Chris. We're PlayStation. We don't care about completions.
Yeah, because like Child of Light never got a platinum. The Playroom on PS4 hasn't got a platinum.
Nice. So what that means, Chris, is that you have indeed beaten me to 50 this year because I was not anticipating Astro. So as a man of my word, my number 50 will now no longer be Jedi Fallen Order. It will be Death Stranding. So I said that I would do a game that you would want me to do. So Death Stranding, I will put myself through when I get.
This needs. There needs to be a stream.
There will be. It's very easy to stream from the PS5.
I want Dave in pure misery, giving up on everything. He's been sat there for 10 minutes wandering around in the rain.
It's going to be an interesting. But I installed it once you told me that you got the 50th, so that will be my 50th. Once I've got, I think I'm on 46, but 47, 48, and 49 I have ready to go. So
yeah, sure. Yeah, Death Stranding, I think, is going to be quite a hard platinum.
It is, but it's doable. It's one of those. I looked at it. It's time consuming, not difficult. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I totally get it. Yeah,
does mean you would played more of it than Penguins would if you go for that.
If I get the platinum, I will. Yeah, I mean, Chris actually has played. To be fair to Chris, he has actually played Death Stranding quite a lot. And not to defend Chris, I don't like doing that. Obviously, that's not the theme of the show.
I think it's 50. I think it's like 50 hours on the PS4 version. I think it's 9 on the PS5 version. So yeah.
Yeah, so I'll be a little chump. We'll see. And obviously that will tie into what we're going to talk about later in the show. But so is that everything for you, Pengy? Right. Well, as I'm going to have to.
It's sort of pretty similar from last week. Just play more God of War. It's just now I'm playing 60 frames,
making it all shiny and sexy. Nothing right. Well, before we get to Craig, I've got to use the camera now. This is editing, so as we can put up. So this is my face with mushrooms. So I need to show. There's a mystery thing I said in our chat that I purchased last week. Using my Stadia money, I got £250 back, something like that. Thanks, Google. So, Chris, are you ready for the big reveal? Chris McGilly, are you alive?
Chris is not ready. He's wandered into a game shop.
I got a GameSir X2, which is a sort of mobile adapter for your phone, as you can see on the screen right now. I've been playing it all week. I've been playing Game Pass. As you see, I've got here Tinykin, which me and Craig will talk about in a moment. Beautiful game. And I'm incredibly impressed. So it comes with this beautiful case, which I didn't expect. This comes in the box. Has a pass-through, so I can charge it. This is the USB-C version that goes straight into my phone. And obviously I have a Pixel 6, so it's this lovely, crisp 4K screen. Looks beautiful. And yeah, I'm really impressed with this. So I've been toying. Let's get my ugly ass face gone. There we go. So I've been toying with the idea of getting something like this for a while. I don't know, me and Chris have talked about it in the past. I know we've talked on this show about the Logitech G Cloud handheld, and I kind of wanted to give it a go to see if Game Pass was at the point where it was really good enough for me to do that. And I've been playing all week. I've been doing remote play on PlayStation and remote play on Xbox and the Game Pass app, which is obviously separate. And I'm really impressed. Like, I've been able to play pretty much everything I've wanted to play without any issues. I played some Gears of War 5 multiplayer with this, Craig, which I know sounds mental, but I was fine. Nice. I was mid in the leaderboards. Played some Halo Infinite again. Didn't really affect me too much. Is that
through remote play or cloud?
That's through cloud. I played that through cloud. I played Forza Horizon 5 with cloud. I've been playing Grapple Dog all week on it through remote play, which I'm really enjoying. Because obviously with remote play you get the benefit of quick resume and all that good stuff. And yeah, like I said, I'm blown away by how usable this is. This cost me £35. It's been on sale on Amazon for a while. I think it might be 40 at the moment. They do actually sell a pro version of this, which is Xbox branded. So it has like an Xbox button. It has like changeable buttons and sticks and stuff. But this is kind of like the entry model the X2.
Yeah, I guess a bit like the backbone, because there's a PlayStation backbone.
Yes, there's a PlayStation backbone, yeah.
So I guess Xbox is partnered with whoever.
So Xbox is partnered with GameSir and Razer. So you can get the Xbox Kishi, which is branded, and the GameSir X2 Pro is branded. This isn't an ad, I've just looked into it quite a lot. And yeah, so I've been playing it. It feels like a more comfortable Switch because the back is concaved. So it has like a rubber grip on the bottom, Craig. So like it rests really nicely. It feels like a controller. It's got, as you can see, clicky Switch-like buttons, but that's fine. They're quite big. The sticks come with a little accessory pack, which you can have a different sized, for want of a better word, nub. I think thumbstick is probably the correct thing, right? But so I've got the ones that are the same ones that are on, roughly the same ones that are on the Series S and X controllers. So it just feels very nice. Nice big sticks. Nice clicky sticks as well, much better than a Joy-Con, for example. And yeah, like I've been really impressed. Like I've had no latency issues. I've been able to get my saves off the cloud pretty quickly. And yeah, so if people are looking for like an option to play, if you've got like I've got an unlimited data plan as well. I've got ads as well, so that makes it I can do it anywhere. Like it's just a good use of Game Pass. I didn't want to keep buying games, so I'm like I have Game Pass and I have PS Plus for the next year or two, like paid up. So I just wanted an excuse to play some games in bed, using those services. So like I've played a lot of Persona on this, Chris. It looks really good. I've played some Yakuza Like a Dragon on it. Looks really good.
I was about to ask you, does this mean that Persona 5 has a chance, Davey?
Yeah, I mean it's a Persona 5. I started the so we'll talk about what I've been playing as well. I started Chained Echoes, which has just come to Game Pass, which is a
that's doing really
91
well.
on open.
Yeah, and it's incredible on this screen. Obviously, I have my brightness on full. It's like I said, it's a Pixel 6. It's basically 4K, in terms of the quality of the screen. And it's a great game. Looks great, sounds great. It's really comfortable. A game like that works absolutely perfectly with this because there isn't. I haven't really seen any latency for anything. But like if there is, it's not taxing for like the game to kind of reload. Where you are, if that means like the cloud, the X Cloud way it does it as opposed to Stadia, it doesn't do like the buffering thing. It just basically loses quality for a second and then finds itself again, as opposed to like stopping and starting whenever it's struggling. So that's very usable. But yeah, I do highly recommend it. It's very cheap at the minute on Amazon. So if you have a USB-C, I think they do a Bluetooth version that you can use with every phone. That's probably got a little bit more compatibility for certain like different apps. But for the Game Pass app, this is absolutely perfect. Again, I have an Android phone. I'm pretty sure they sell iPhone versions of it if you have an iPhone. But yeah, really recommend this. Really impressed with this for the price. In addition to the games I'll talk about, obviously I've been playing Tinykin, which is the one of the indie games, which is kind of like Pikmin. It has a really interesting art style in that the characters are like very clean Paper Mario, sort of like vector art, and then the actual world is 3D models. It's really cute. Again, it's basically Pikmin without the combat. You go to different places, do different puzzle solving things, and it's very enjoyable. It gets on Game Pass, so I highly recommend it to everyone. I know Craig's playing it as well, so he'll talk about it when he gets to his section. Obviously, Grapple Dog, I played a early build for review very early in the year, if you remember, on Switch that had some performance issues. It's now on Xbox, and it doesn't have those issues anymore. It's really good, really fun. Looks like a GBA game and sounds like a Mega Drive game. It's the best way I can describe it. Really slick controls. The grapple's really fun. Really great platform. I think it's £12. It's not on Game Pass at the moment, sadly. But yeah, it's a £12 2D platform. I'm about 4 hours in. I think it's about an 8-hour game. Really highly recommend it. If you like 2D platformers and you kind of, if you haven't played like a Celeste or something like that recently, I think it's a really good game to play. I do highly recommend it. And the only other sort of main game I've been playing is on the Switch, and that is, of course, Sonic Frontiers, which is a very strange game. It's a very strange game because it feels like two different games. You sort of go in, so the open world bit, which is the main part of the game, is very strange, very, very strange, like weird Breath of the Wild and Dark Souls-y elements. Very, very, for a Sonic game, it's really bizarre, but it's okay. Like there's no issue. And then there's the core game, which is the levels you go in once you've unlocked the stuff in the open world, and they feel like Sonic levels, and they're really fun. Very boost formula. So I'm very torn on Sonic Frontiers. It's both a bad game and a good game at the same time, which is kind of what you can hope for. It's like all Sonic.
Unleashed, then.
It's not that. It's not as jarring as the combat in Sonic Unleashed, Like it still feels like Sonic in the open world, but it's just kind of weird Sonic, like weird Breath of the Wild Sonic. I think I'd probably compare it to Sonic Adventure in that regard. Like a lot of the gameplay is the slick, quick Sonic you'd want, but then a lot of the gameplay is not. It's always going to be on sale quite regularly, so I would recommend it. Obviously I'm playing it on Switch. Performance wise, it's fine. It's 30 locked. I imagine it would look better on PS5 at 60. But if you see it cheap, like someone like Chris that allegedly like Sega, like I would recommend it.
I'm getting it for Christmas.
Yeah, like if you're gonna, especially if you're going to get it for PS4, PS5, or the Series X, I think that would be a really good version. But yeah, that's kind of all I've played this week. Obviously, Football Manager, but we don't need another episode about us talking about Football Manager.
No. I did want to ask, how's the Wrexham fate save going?
Oh, for my partner,
yeah,
she lost the playoff final, and she lost the FA Trophy final, and she did that just for that. So shout out to my girlfriend. I apologise for your unluckiness, my dear, but you'll get there. This is the
love. There's still City blood, isn't it, running through her? Well, she just can't escape it.
Didn't they do that last year?
They did do that in real life. They didn't get to the playoff final. They got knocked out in the playoff semis. So I said, you've already won better than Phil Parkinson. Don't worry. But yeah, shout out to her. I'm sure she'll improve next season. Obviously, she's benefiting from Game Pass, Craig. She's on the achievement look.
Hell yeah.
The addiction that never ends. The good old Game Pass. But yeah, speaking of Game Pass, with a perfect transition, Craigo, let us know what you've been playing and maybe purchasing this week.
Well, Dave, I got to tell you, the other day I was walking. I thought I'd go down to Morrison's and get a pasty.
Nice. Which pasty did you get?
Somehow,
pasty did you get, Craig?
I didn't end up in Morrison's. I ended up in a game shop.
What?
And I ended up buying.
PS5?
No, I didn't. It's all a lie. No.
What plot twist that would have been, by the way? What plot twist that would have been?
That would have been, Dave, you would have been fucking done now, wouldn't it?
I was going to say...
Whip out the camera and the PS5. They're struggling to hold it up.
I was thinking, what... No, I was genuinely thinking, what game would Craig bought? Callisto Protocol, maybe? But then it's not reviewed well. That's all I could think of.
No, I haven't been in a game shop for God knows how long. But no, all I've played is Tinykin on Game Pass, which I believe is also on PS4, PS5, and I think it's on Switch as well. So I think it's available on everything. Obviously, it is on Game Pass day one. Like this, it is such a chill game to play. It is perfect for feet up, podcast on, because it does have some music. There's no voiceover at all, so there's not a lot of dialogue to read, so you can literally just chill, put a podcast on, put the football on in the background or something if it's a game you're not really that interested in, and chill and play it. Art style, like Dave said, is beautiful. It's got that kind of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids setup going on. And yeah, it's like I said, it's no combat in it, so it is just puzzles and kind of adventure. You go into the different levels, which are different rooms in the house. Basically, I think I've just got into the level which is based in the kitchen. You walk in, and there's this weird thing where you walk in and you see all the collectibles and all the stuff going on. And it feels quite jarring and overwhelming at first because God, there's shit everywhere.
But they're not collectibles.
Yeah, but the level design is really good because you just kind of I just kind of stop pottering around over here, and then I'll climb up here, and I'll get these I think I said Pikmin, these Tinykin over here, and and I collect this thing, and I pick this thing up, and then you're I've done a little quarter of it, and you just kind of naturally progress around the levels. It does a good job of you think, oh shit, this is overwhelming, this is big, but you just kind of gradually tick it off, and before you know it, the level was kind of pretty much done.
Very Nintendo in its design.
Yeah, it really is.
Design. It's not just the way it looks, just in the general because obviously Mario and all Paper Mario and all those games do that thing where it goes, here's what you're going to be doing for the next 10 minutes. Go ahead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have fun.
I feel like if this was a Nintendo exclusive, this would have been big on Game Awards and stuff like that.
Oh, absolutely. It's one of the best games I've played this year, for sure.
Yeah, it is brilliant. It's a shame. I feel like it should have been nominated for one of the indie categories. I don't know if it is the studio's first game or
Well, maybe it will get a Pod of War award.
Could do. If Penguins brings himself to play it, but
no,
he
won't play
will. No, it's on Game Pass. He's already decided it's rubbish.
I'm pretty sure it is on PlayStation. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on PlayStation. It's on everything. Right? It does run really well, so I don't know if Dave's found this on his cloud, but it feels silky smooth.
Yeah,
on
it's absolutely 1080 60, 100%.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like an indie game that
No,
one guy's made in his shed on his lunch breaks. It does feel like a properly thought out and fleshed out game. So I've been playing that. So I'm in the kitchen. I think I might have like one or two
where you
levels
belong.
to
Am I
go.
right?
Make me a goddamn sandwich, right? To go after that, and then I've been doing this, like there's little like side questy bits that you can do, and like you said, there's collectibles and stuff like that. I've been trying to do most of it as I go, other than like the main collectibles. I think there might be achievements for
There is.
doing each level. Yeah, there is.
There's a completion. There's achievements for all types of completion, basically.
Yeah, but it is like got a very high completion percentage on true achievement. So,
but that could also just be that not many people are playing it.
Yeah, so I'm telling myself it can't be that difficult. But I do want to try and get the completion excellence. I'm really enjoying it. I want to kind of like get as much out from it as I can because it's a very fun little game.
I feel like it's also one of those games. If you were to pick up like the thing that I picked up in bed, getting the doing the collectibles would be a very enjoyable experience.
Yeah, it's so chill, isn't it? It's such a like, oh, I've got like an hour and I've got to go do so. I'm just gonna put some Pikmin on. Perfect for quick resume as well, I will say. It's great for that. Just like, oh, pop in, loaded straight up, and yeah, just get in and playing it, and then leaving it wherever you leave it.
Lovely, Craig. Is that been your main game this week?
Yeah, that's all I've played this week.
Love it. Obviously, there's been quite a lot of stuff that's come to Game Pass this week. I've actually installed a lot. I don't know about you. Like I've pre-installed Monster Hunter, High on Life,
do that.
and Lego Star Wars. I downloaded, so I'm absolutely gonna jump into that.
Lego Star Wars going.
But yeah, very much a good month for Game Pass, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's been a good few months to be fair, but this one's been very good. So hopefully, continue like that. Maybe like I said, January's already Monster Hunter, so that's already a good start.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, well, without further ado, we suppose we better talk about the Game Awards. Has either of you got a list of the award winners compared to what we voted for?
So I do. You mean
I
what
got
we
a list
predicted?
of what won, but not what we predicted, because I know Craig wrote that down.
Okay, cool. Because all I have is games that were announced.
So, yeah. So do you want me to go through? Can we go through some awards?
Let's do the awards because I think that's the most boring bit, right? We'll do that first.
Yeah. So I won't keep score. I'll do the scores at the end.
Yeah,
so the first one we did was most anticipated, which Zelda won. Which me and Chris
said that.
No, me and Chris said Zelda. Dave said Starfield. So it's about
I didn't realize it was going to be such an Xbox-less show. If I'm honest.
Yeah.
Oh, you better not say anything like that. You know, Ryan McCaffrey and stuff are upset all the Xbox fans.
Oh yeah, but Ryan McCaffrey's hasn't had a clue about Xbox for years, so I'll say it.
After that, we had debut indie, which No Shock Stray won, which me and Pengy had. Dave had Tunic, unfortunately for him. Dave went with the wrong animal.
I picked with good games. What I say?
Yeah. Best multiplayer. This is one I got this right, but I feel this is a little bit weird. Best multiplayer went to Splatoon, which I had. Pengy had Overwatch 2. Dave had Call of Duty. Other than this being a Nintendo game, I've not heard anyone talk positively about Splatoon 3.
Not like even the Nintendo fans of it. I know there's like one of the guys from the GName Forum on Twitter talks about it quite a bit, but no one else I know talks about it.
Like even Pengy, this was going to be his Halo Infinite of 2022. This is going to be the 100-hour game, and it's just fallen off a cliff. So I thought it was strange to win. Obviously, I was happy it won because it got me a point. But it's an odd one. There's a few of them like that. Moving on to another odd one that none of us got right. Best Sports was won by Gran Turismo. Me and Pengy both had Ollie Ollie World. They've had FIFA 23. Again, game that I've heard nothing positive about since its launch. But I guess it's a PlayStation exclusive, so it wins, right? Best Sim, we all got wrong again. Me and Pengy had Total War. They've had 2 Point Campus. We all went Sega, and Nintendo won, which is just history repeating itself, right?
Yeah, shame that is.
Yeah. If Pengy just never let the Dreamcast die, then maybe Total War 2 Point Campus might have won Best Sim in 2022, but it won't to be. Best Family, Dave got right with Kirby, even though it's a single-player game, so it doesn't make a great deal of sense. Pengy went Splatoon 3, which was wrong, and I went Lego Star Wars, which was also wrong. Best fighting. This was a surprise. Dave got this right with Multiverses.
You're damn right I did.
I did not see that coming. Pengul went Shifu, which is wrong. I went King of Fighters, which is wrong. That game screwed me over twice now this year.
There's nothing I know more than corporate thinking, Craig.
I mean, to be fair, I have heard a lot of people like quite positive about Multiverses. So,
yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's a surprise, but best RPG we all got right. Elden Ring, obviously, we knew that was going to win. Best adventure we all got right. We've got God of War. Best action, me and Pengles got right with Bayonetta 3. And Dave went Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles.
There you go.
You got to learn, Dave. Game Pass games. No. We'd rather have some Japanese games that no one seems to like. Best indie. Me and Dave went wrong because for some reason we both went Cult of the Lamb, even though Stray was nominated for Game of the Year, so it's always going to win.
We stood by our beliefs, Craig. That's what it was.
Yeah. Well, you got a choice of a lamb and a cat. You're always going to go for the lamb, aren't you?
Exactly. It's tastier.
Games for Impact. Games for Impact. I got a point for As Dusk Falls. Pengy went Ending or Endling. I don't know what I've written down something there. Oh, and Dave. There was some shenanigans here, boys. I put Dave got that wrong. That's going to have consequences in a second. I tell you now.
Yeah.
So Dave also got a point for As Dusk Falls. So I'm pretty sure Dave abstained for that originally, and then went back in for that. So
yeah, I think I was like, Dave. I don't believe it. And you were like, oh, come up with that. So I was like, fine, it'll be the Game Pass game. Why not?
Yes, like I just said, always go Game Pass. Yeah,
always.
Yeah. So remember that, Dave, because that's going to benefit you in a second.
Right.
Best performance. I read that then thinking that was best performance as in like best frame rate, but it's not. Obviously, it's the
imagine if there was a frame rate award. God.
Somehow a Pokemon game would win it.
Yeah.
Christopher Judge won that, which Dave had. Me and Pengy both went man on Gage and got that horribly wrong. We then had to endure a 20-minute victory speech that felt like it was never going to end, which I fast forward because I didn't do it to myself. Best audio, we all got right. We've God of War. Best score, we all got wrong. I believe God of War won that, right, Pengy?
Yes.
Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah.
You went Xenoblade. Me and Dave both went Metal Hellsinger. Again, Dave, you've got to stop going for these Game Pass games, mate.
We've got to stop. We've got to learn.
Best art direction. I got a point with Elden Ring. Is that one? Pengy went Scorn. God knows what was going through his head there. Christ.
But no, because that's like the only thing, like the real positive anyone said about that game was what it looked like. So I thought, okay, it's up for best art direction. Everyone seems to like the art direction and nothing else about that game. So
Dave went God of War, which was also wrong. Best narrative, I went for Immortality, which I stand by, but that was wrong. And God of War won, which got you two both a point each. Best direction. Was won by Elden Ring, which got me and Dave a point. Pengles had Immortality. Again, I don't think Immortality won in anything, which is just an absolute shambles. Me and Pengy tried. We both predicted it for a few things, but yeah, it's on Game Pass. It stood no chance.
If I was like the ones that we said, I would have said best performance was like should have been like the one that like because Christopher Judge is what even though he's like fantastic credit, he's won it before, so. Yeah, he'll win it again in God of War 3 or whatever.
And then Game of the Year, we all got right with Elden Ring winning. None of us got any points for the double prediction shenanigans we did at the end. We all failed miserably there.
I can't remember what we predict. Apart from Dave, I think said Forza.
No, Dave said Perfect Dark 2023, which is very ambitious. I said Hellblade 2023, which is very ambitious, and you said Spider-Man in September, which was very ambitious.
Fair enough.
So the scores, boys. I've had to do a quick change after that error. So I nearly mugged you off there, Dave. So I'm sorry about that.
It's fine. Everyone does it.
With 9 points, Chris Mengele.
Chris.
With 10 points, Dave Bellringer.
Ooh.
And with 11 points,
rigged.
it's your boy, 2 years in a row. I won it.
So I'll take second. Second,
Yeah,
better than last.
That was close there. Like I said, originally you were both on 9. But yeah, I nearly mugged you off, Dave.
Nice.
Who would have known, Dave, that Games for Innovation or whatever that award's called is the one that Games for Impact is what saved you, Dave. I think you should have a little bit more goddamn respect for those games in the future.
How about no? Well, lovely. Well, that's at least that's something that Craig's going to win this year. So
hell yeah, I got a claim to say, right, boys.
So we'll move on to the bit of the Game Awards we all actually watched for, and that was announced games. Now, Pengel sent me a list of, I believe, 906 things that he wanted me to talk about, and I have
52.
I have lowered that somewhere.
Trim the fat. So I sent you everything, and then your job was to trim the fat.
Okay, so a lot of these are going to be very quick, very quick discussions. But yes, so let's begin with the first one that Chris has got here, and actually probably one of the most interesting ones is Dead Cells is getting Castlevania DLC, which is fun.
Yes.
Have any of us played Dead Cells?
I was about to say, do any of us care about that?
No. I mean, I like Castlevania, so...
No, Castlevania. Yeah, I was like, yay, Castlevania. Oh, it's in Dead Cells. I was like, yay, no.
Why don't you just play the... what's the Castlevania style?
Bloodstained?
Yeah, the Bloodstained game. That was really good that I've been telling you to play for God knows how long. Didn't you kickstart that game?
Yeah, I think I'm in the credits, even.
Play that if you want to play Castlevania.
I've never seen the credits. So. But anyway, we've got a lot to talk about, so we'll move on from Chris not playing games. We could be here all day talking about that. Speaking of I don't know why Chris has put this on here, but Returnal got a PC port.
Yep.
So you can play it on the Steam Deck, that's why.
Okay, so there's that. Hellboy got a game announced. Chris, is there any more you can add for this?
The art style looked like the actual comic book, so
that actually looked pretty cool. Yeah.
I wonder what type of game. Again, Hellboy's a cool IP, so
yeah, definitely.
We'll keep an eye on that. Post Trauma announced. This is a survival horror game.
Yeah, that looked like a really old school PS1 survival horror. Slightly improved graphics from that, because a lot of the old school survival horror games tried to do the PS1 style graphics. I think they might be going for more of the PS2. It looks like you're playing as a security guard or something from the trailer. It looked kind of interesting. I like old classic survival horror games, so.
Very nice. What we got next? We've got Viewfinder announced for PS5.
Yeah, it was said only PS5 in the trailer, but it's coming to PS4 as well. It gave me unfinished. I got unfinished one vibes from it, but I know it was in the pre-show, and Sydney Goodman, the host, was saying, "Oh, it reminds me of Portal." I kind of see that as well, where you got the puzzles and stuff like that, but they were moving paintings around and taking pictures. Hence, I guess the name of Viewfinder, because they're taking pictures on their Polaroid camera and then using them to do the puzzles and stuff like that. Look, quite an interesting indie sort of title.
Did you guys watch the pre-show?
Yes,
kinda. It was on the kind of funny thing. That's the only reason I saw it.
Yeah.
Scars Above got a trailer.
It did get a trailer. I kind of get whoever's behind it is making a weird sort of sci-fi Tomb Raider, because the character looks a little bit like Lara Croft as well, a sci-fi Tomb Raider thing. I know it's only £35 on physical on Xbox Series X and PS5, so it could be who
You've
knows.
Seen this before in other showcases.
Yeah, but they show slightly more of it here as well.
I've not heard of it, so
yeah. I feel like I've seen it before and thought, oh, it looks quite interesting, and then thought the name's just really random. That's kind of what drove me back to that.
Yeah, sure.
Did you get a date or anything, or is there a date, or is it?
Yeah, it comes out I think it's 23rd of February. It's
early.
Yeah, it's quite early next year, and we haven't seen a huge lot of it. I think as one benefit is its price being £35 at retail on physical, on current gen only and stuff like that. We have £70 games where it's half the price. If it's half decent, I could see it doing some kind of well, maybe.
Lovely. Another trailer I don't recall. After Us.
Yeah, that was when it first started. I thought oh, I'm getting Journey and Flower vibes because he was like zoomed in and looking at some flowers and stuff like that and that, and then it like zoomed out and you're playing as like a little girl, and I mean like in height sort of thing because there was actual like when you're walking around the world and stuff, there was humans that looked sort of dead, but like not. Like one of them looked like he had like a phone in his chest and stuff like that, and everything was like dark and grey. But where she was walking, like flowers are going. So I'm thinking like the Earth has died, or we've gone like totally towards technology. Hence, like we've got like a phone in our chest, and this sort of like little pixie character and stuff is like bringing nature back thing. But then it's called After Us, so maybe we are dead, and after us is these little pixie characters. Who knows?
I love these little Chris Pingeli reviews.
Yeah, I can't even remember that.
Replaced coming to Game Pass.
Yeah, that's been announced before. I think it's a very pretty game. I think it got delayed because isn't it being made in
Ukraine? I think.
Yeah,
it's either Ukraine or Russia. It's one of the two. Sorry.
Yeah, it is. So I think it's meant to come out the end of this year, but yeah, it got delayed into next year.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
They also, before Dave missed, there was a newer Atomic Heart trailer, which is obviously a Game Pass game as well.
If you tell me to trim the fat and then I don't talk about it, Chris, why do you think the reason for that is?
Yeah.
But yes, Atomic Heart is available to preload right now on.
Did they give a date? Because that's another one that got delayed.
Fairly soon.
Isn't it being made in Russia as well?
I think it's 27th of January.
Yeah, it's soon.
Oh, very soon then. Yeah.
Bless you. So the next game, Chris, is the Street Fighter demo with a date.
Yeah, that was the last thing on the pre-show was the Street Fighter 6 date of June 2nd.
Looks fun. So... I don't know. I don't think I've got fighting games in me anymore. But if I did, it would be one of the ones I look at because it looks like it's got quite fun single player. But yes, Street Fighter 6. Hades 2 got announced, which is very cool.
Yeah,
it's not one for but I don't think any of us played the first one, have we? But it's,
I played the first one a little bit. I never finished it. But really great gameplay. But I'm not one for roguelikes myself.
Yeah, that's not the thing.
Not keen on the old roguelike genre. So it's little like this is like I like the art style and all the art and like the gameplay does look really cool, and it's good that Supergiant was successful with Hades 1 and stuff, but they've always done something different after a game and always done a different genre. So I'm a little bit disappointed they're not doing, taking on a different genre.
The most money they've ever made is from Hades, so it's not a surprise to me at all.
Was it a 2024 as well? Or was it a 20?
It's come to early access sometime.
Oh yeah,
because that's what they did last time as well. They put it on early access as well.
Yes. Next up here we've got Judas from Ken Levine of BioShock fame, which just looks like a very similar BioShock game.
It does. It looks very BioShock. It looks awesome though, I'll say.
Yeah, it looks like BioShock in space.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think there was any date or anything like that was there for this, or even like an inkling of a date, so it could be quite a while away. But
and I weirdly also got from the trailer, I don't know about you, Craig, some Deathloop vibes because in the trailer she's saying like, "Oh, I've got to work with one of these people," and then they shows you like all the different characters and stuff. So I don't know if it's like, like to finish the game or something, or you got to do like work with this character and you can do it this way or whatever. But then I think Ken Levine's talked afterward or something like, it's really story and narrative driven, which obviously from Ken Levine is given. So maybe it's not. Maybe I'm thinking weird, and it is pretty straightforward linear path. Who knows? But him being attached to it makes me excited.
The gameplay looked great as well. If it ends up looking like half as good as it did look in this trailer, then should be a good time.
Indeed, not a game for me, but we'll, I'll listen to you guys. Bayonetta Origins got announced for March 17th. Very interesting looking, somewhat strange, little side game, Chris.
Yeah. So more Bayonetta. It's a bit of a prequel where you play as her as a kid. Shows some using like Cheshire as like in the combat. She's obviously being a kid, so using him to do the thing in like a weird like watercolor art style. I'm getting a bit of like Child of Light, but if you put it in 3D sort of thing from it. Yeah, so pretty good, and it gives Nintendo something for March as well. So it's like, oh, that's the March Nintendo game, so sorted.
Very nice. Next, we had another live action, well, not live action, another CGI Suicide Squad trailer. Basically just showcasing that it has Kevin Conroy, and obviously sadly passed away recently. It'll be his last performance as Batman.
It also got a date as well, didn't it?
Yes,
Yeah,
May
May
26th. So that's very interesting. We still haven't actually seen gameplay, so I'm holding out.
I think they showed gameplay in the last trailer, didn't they?
I don't think we've seen any gameplay, have we?
I thought we did, unless it was just like very well disguised cinematics of the gameplay.
Potentially, and I'm pretty sure we've never seen like a HUD. Put it that way.
Yeah, and I think I think it was very
Yeah.
cinematic gameplay.
Yeah. I kind of feel bad for this because this is May when Tears of the Kingdom comes out.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
But
so
it's-
I think there's some different audiences there for there.
Yeah, but I can see this being like pretty good because it's Rocksteady, but then like no one, a bit like this year Horizon, but because it came out at the same time as Elden Ring and stuff like that, I can see like no, everyone's talking Tears of the Kingdom, no one's talking Suicide Squad, even if it's going to be decent.
God, well, our only hope is, Xbox players, I guess, right? But yeah. Next on, speaking of Xbox players, Party Animals. It's finally got its new sort of window of 2023, and that is coming to Game Pass. That's a fun ass multiplayer game.
It's one that Snowbite Mike's been talking about for ages.
Yeah, they've kind of only did a video on the original PC version a while ago, but yeah, pretty fun game.
You can actually play as real corgi.
There you go, see.
Yeah.
Next up, probably my highlight of the show, possibly Craig's, Star Wars Jedi Survivor gameplay, and its date of March 17th.
Yeah, this looked amazing.
Looks incredible. So that's the same day as Bayonetta Origins, I think.
So fuck that shit.
Yeah,
Am I right, David?
Yeah, pretty much. I think I'm actually flying to America like a couple days after, which is very annoying. But
So you've got a couple of days to beat it, right?
But yeah, it looks absolutely incredible. It looks a complete evolution of the first game, just everything but better. As long as it runs well this time, that's really all I ask for.
Yeah, I suspect it will this time. The customization stuff looked really cool as well. The different lightsabers that he was using.
Yeah,
I love the fact they got the actor
cross
dude
guard
to
on,
come
didn't
out
he?
as well.
Yeah. And it seems to be that the
it's-
story is linking to the new High Republic sort of universe that Disney are trying to push at the moment. So that's cool. And just give us.
And what was the date again? Sorry?
March 17th.
March 17th.
Oh, so not that far away.
No, really not. Like
I
what,
could
3
see
months?
Craig accidentally walking into a game shop that day.
This might be
Our,
Craig's first pre-order of the last decade, probably.
I put a notification to head down to Morrison's to get past you that day, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I
boys.
think so. I think that's one. Certainly a pasty time for Craig. Next up, we've got Earthblade from the Celeste devs, which looks like
This looked really good. Yeah, this looked awesome. Because Celeste came out a long time ago, didn't it? It's one of those games that everyone talks about still, but I feel like it was like 6 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, something crazy.
It was
This-
pretty early in the Switch life cycle, so because it was
This had
a Switch
combat as well.
for a
So.
while.
Yes, but it's actually not coming till 2024.
Yeah, it's strange, but that's one that I definitely look forward to. Celeste
I'd be
is awesome.
excited to play that on the Switch too.
God, the Switch U. The next one's one for Pengy. We got the Forspoken demo got shadow dropped,
Which I have downloaded but have currently not played.
I played a little bit of it, and mixed is the response I would give. It looks good, and it kind of feels good to play, but it's kind of annoying. The characters are very annoying. Very, very annoying.
It's a shame, because that's a Sir Gary
Gary
fucking
was
Whitta.
helped on some of it, but what bits he's helped on,
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah,
I feel like he might have been
he
the
was one of the writers.
witty British guy he might have written for, because he's quite funny. But the main character is kind of annoying. So the jury is out for me on Forspoken. We'll see what Chris thinks when he plays it.
Yes.
But a game Chris will probably play is
Oh.
Death Stranding 2. Was announced.
Currently working title.
Currently working title. And obviously Craig will play that when it comes to PC Game Pass in a couple of years' time, much like the first game.
In 2036. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's been announced now. That's coming next year, I think. That's what it said.
There's no date or anything like that.
No, we're gonna
still
prove
working title.
2026 that this is going to be.
I would think it's next year because the last one was 4 years ago. So
Didn't they announce? Wasn't Death Stranding announced and then didn't it take quite a while to come out then?
It did, but they didn't show a lot, did they?
No, it didn't take as long as you would think. I think it was like 2 years after.
And
it
it's
was
bold of you to think that
Okay.
he's going to have changed any of the gameplay, Craig.
Yeah, that's true.
But I might love Death Stranding by the end of the next year. So who knows?
Yeah, and the trailer was very interesting. Like we see Fragile with a baby, but she's not in like the weird like suit thing, so she's not being like exposed to time full. But then we see her later back in like a
Probably
suit
a
thing.
flashback.
Yeah, so that's mostly a flashback. It looks like Troy Baker's character's back as well when he was singing the BB's theme and stuff like that. And like
I'm sure
Norman
Chris will do
Reedus
a deep dive at some point.
is older now in the trailer and stuff like that. Yeah, so really it's like Kojima like Pengelly has bought a PlayStation. I need to show him Death Stranding too.
Did you cringe as much as I did when he had to be like, "Oh, there's loads of stuff hidden in the trailer, guys. I hope you find it."
I cringe any time Jeff Keighley talks to Hideo Kojima.
Like,
It's like he
that
wants
guy,
to literally lick his bollocks.
he is the Quentin Tarantino of like games, isn't he? His head is so far up his own ass. It is insane. It's like, why do you need to say that? Just let people do it. So he's got to be like, "Oh, look at me, I've done it." So weird.
It's when they do a trailer and it's a Hideo Kojima game directed by Hideo Kojima. Got to have his name in there a few more times. So
yeah, he did get a pretty big pop from the crowd.
It's all people like you. That
I was about to say that is his audience, isn't it?
Let's move on from Hideo. Let's see a very strange trailer that EA announced called Immortals of Avium, which is a single-player first-person shooter built in Unreal 5, launching on Xbox and I presume PlayStation at some point in 2023. It was just a trailer they showed of a cool ass looking game that looked a lot like Avowed. So they've already kind of copied Monster Hunter. So now they've come for every other type of game. Very interesting.
This is a EA Originals again. This is
yes. So AAA indie, as they say. A AAA indie.
Yeah.
That was that. I don't care about that. Baldur's Gate 3. It's coming out.
Don't care about Tekken 8.
I don't care about Tekken 8. You can talk about Tekken 8 on your own time.
Okay.
Baldur's Gate 3's got a date for August next year, and that game came out on Stadia and PC early access 2 years ago. So
that's been early access for ages, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a game called Wayfinder coming out next week. I don't really know what that is.
It looks like a MOBA type thing. Okay. It's like because they brought out some guy on the stage and they're like, "Oh yeah, you announced this last year. When's it coming?" And it's like, "Oh, sooner than you think." And then he had a trailer. It's like, "Yeah, it's out next week." And I'm like, okay, that's some build to that game.
Next up, we had Nintendo doing Ubisoft things by announcing paid DLC for Fire Emblem Engage before the games come out.
That was so weird. Why be like paid? It's such a strange way of like.
Very strange. And Fire Emblem Engage as well it hasn't even really had a lot of press yet, so I still think people are kind of on the fence with it. So it's a very, very strange move to come and announce paid DLC before it comes out. But we'll see. I'm sure that game will still be good because it's always as good. But yeah, we'll see. Next up, Diablo 4 has a date of June 6th. Game looks good. Game looks like Diablo. That's really all I have to say about it.
Yeah, it looks really because they only showed like a cutscene basically, didn't they?
Yeah.
But it was a Blizzard cutscene, so it looked like awesome. What the gameplay they've shown before, I thought it looked really good, and even as that's from someone who's never played Diablo.
It's previewed very well. I'm sure it will be good, but it's just a case. I mean, for me, it's a case of I want the sort of acquisition to go through so I can get that on Game Pass. But
exactly, so what I was about to say. Like, just hopefully this fucking nonsense ends and we could all move on with our lives, and then that's on Game Pass day one. Because I'll definitely be giving it a go if it is.
Yeah, same. Next up, Forza. God, sorry, I saw the word Horizon and immediately said Forza. Horizon Forbidden West has DLC coming, The Burning Shores, and that's coming in April 19th. I really need to finish that game, but yeah, I'm sure it'll be good.
And it's lucky Pengy's only just bought a PS5 because it's PS5 only.
Yeah, very strange move. But again, is PlayStation anything but anti-consumer? There you go. It's a conversation for another day. The next game is a Blue Protocol. It's an MMORPG announced by Namco for console. And there isn't that many MMORPGs on console, so that's cool. It's cool to have another.
It's just a very anime-looking one.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. It looks a bit like Genshin Impact, so I guess it's Namco's take on that sort of thing. But weirdly, Amazon are publishing it, which seems kind of weird, seeing Namco as a publisher themselves. And it's coming to like PlayStation, Xbox, but not like Luna. Amazon.
Yeah, but Luna's gonna die pretty soon, Chris.
So yeah, it's just like weird. Like, why is Amazon publishing it and then not putting it on? Oh, it's like, yeah.
But it does look
a bit
good.
Weird, but yeah,
it does look good. So that's interesting. What doesn't look good, and me and Craig will not play after the mistake we've made before, is Remnant from the Ashes 2.
Yes, fuck that. Fuck everything about that shit.
When someone's in work, so that was like their biggest thing from this.
Well, I apologise to them for their own decisions, I think.
Yeah, so they're excited for this. So at least someone's excited.
Someone's excited. Speaking of something I'm not excited about, Transformers game from Splash Damage.
This was such a strange trailer because I did not think this was I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I think because I watched it afterwards, I think the music had been taken out as well. So I think I was watching it in like silence, which probably didn't help. It was an odd trailer. The Splash Damage are have they been like a support studio as well?
Yeah, they've made a few games.
They've done a few things, like they helped. I think their last sort of thing they helped on Gears Tactics, and obviously they've got Full Rain here. But it's weird. Like I watched the kind of funnies like Games Daily thing, and like Tim on that's a big Transformers fan. They even did a react of like the Beast Wars film coming, and he's like, yeah, I didn't even know it was a Transformers thing until like the logo came up. So if someone like him saying he didn't know it was Transformers, then you're gonna go, oh, cool.
But there you go. Next up, we got Company of Heroes 3 Console Edition. So that's another RTS from Sega coming to console. If that comes to Game Pass, I'll give it a look.
Yeah, the logo wasn't there, but you did think it would come to Game Pass. The others have.
Yeah. Next up, we got Banishers from Don't Nod.
This looked really cool. This was the Ghost game, wasn't it? The 3D action game. Don't Nod are the ones who used to make Life is Strange, aren't they?
Yes.
And did they make that? Is it Vampire or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess it's closer to Vampire than Life is Strange. But it looked pretty cool. Like a cool concept there. And I think there's a little bit of gameplay and it looked decent.
Yeah, it's definitely it looks like it's going to swim in sevens, right?
Yeah. I just I don't know why, because obviously I guess the fantasy setting, like, oh, like we're a banisher and you go like banish things. I'm like, oh, it sounds a bit like Witcher and you go like like the thing.
Will it have Gwen? That's the question.
Will it have? Yeah. But the thing is, obviously, they've shown this Don't Nod, but when they rebranded to actually Don't Nod, because I think that's because everyone called them that, and they've changed the thing and they did a new logo. The new logo had like 5 things in the back and there's like 5 projects, and this is the only one I think we know of the 5 projects. That could also be worried that they might have their fingers in too many pies and stuff like that, and it's like this doesn't turn out as good as it can be because of the 4 other projects.
There we go. Next up, probably my second most anticipated game of the show, and that is Space Marine 2. Getting some gameplay. Game looks sick. Love me some Warhammer 40k. I don't know if you haven't played the first Space Marine. It's kind of like a weird mix of like Gears of War and like a little bit of an action game. Really fun. I think 40k as a universe has so much potential for video games. So I hope this looks like it's getting the budget it deserves, and I'm very excited. It also has a really sick. Chris hasn't written it down, but I presume it is Chris.
I don't know of a date of this one.
Okay, I'll look. But they did have a really sick collector's edition that got shown with like a Space Marine in like a well of like blood, like sawing a dude in half. So I was like,
because this had a trailer. Might have been at the summer show, and there was no gameplay, but it looked really badass. And obviously, just the gameplay it does look pretty badass.
Yeah, it looks like there is just 2023 is the date, and that is a next gen and PC only game.
Nice.
But yeah, looks incredible. Definitely, that's very high on my list for 2023. Next up, we got Meet Your Maker coming out on April 4th. Any thoughts?
I can see this sort of being like one of those games that does well on like Twitch or something, because someone's made I want to call it a prison. I don't know what it is. Someone's made the prison, and then obviously, people are trying to get through it and stuff like that. So I can see like that sort of community, like a bit like a Dead by Daylight or something. Like, oh, I'm streaming. This is the prison I just made. Come and play and see if you can like beat it or whatever, sort of thing. I think it's PC only, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
I think it is
One for
coming
the
to
Steam Deck.
Xbox Series X and Xbox One as well. So probably PlayStation as well. But okay. Next up, a really very strange announcement. Crash Team Rumble was shown, coming to all consoles in 2023. Big Crash fan.
Jizz has
but
leaked this a little bit before that it's going to be like a weird multiplayer game and not a traditional Crash game.
yeah, I mean, if it's not free to play, it's dead.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, I love Crash, and like it kind of gives me somewhat Crash Bash vibes. But yeah, I mean, very strange move. Very strange move. It also looks like it just has the assets from Crash 4, so I would be surprised if it actually costs that much to make. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, so it looks like is it like a 4v4 and you're trying to collect the fruits? So...
Yeah, so it's like it's a 4v4 multiplayer game, so it would have like different modes, and yeah, it just depends. Again, it depends. If it's not free to play, then it has to be very cheap. Like, there's no way you can sell this at full price. No way.
Or it has to go onto like one of the big.
It has to go on Game
services.
Pass or be a PS Plus game or something.
Yeah.
Because it's Crash, so it has a bit of a chance if you saw it in a shop. But yeah, it's not even coming to Switch, which is strange. It's just coming to the big boy consoles and their minis. So, but anyway, very interesting. Next up, we have Crime Boss Rocky City trailer with 80s and 90s stars such as Chuck Norris and Vanilla Ice.
This was such a weird like setup and trailer. I did not have a clue what was going on during this, to be honest.
Shooter, apparently. From 505 Games. Danny
So
Trejo, Danny Glover, Michael Rooker.
They brought out the three guys in there, one of them was the Irish guy, and I was like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
Kim Basinger. What the hell, this is
they brought those three out to talk about it, and then they did trailer and like, oh yeah, we got Danny Glover, Kate Basinger, Vanilla Ice, and it's like I think it's set in the 90s as well, and Chuck Norris, and like, this is such a weird game.
Yeah, it's either going to be very, very good or horrific. I think basically it's two choices.
I know which one I'd be better on.
But there we go. Next up, which will probably be quite good, is a Cyberpunk expansion, Phantom Liberty, starring Idris Elba.
That was a cool reveal. I was pop pretty big for that.
I have the physical of Cyberpunk on Xbox. I need to get to that at one point. That's on the list, Craig.
It's very good, to be fair. It's a fun game. I like the CD Projekt Red do DLCs very well. The Witcher 3 DLCs were both awesome, both quite substantial. So yeah, I have hope for this. We've been burnt once with Cyberpunk, but I'm building up the hope again just so they can slash me down.
So the next one is interesting to me because I think From Software is truly testing if its fan base are fanboys or not by announcing that they're bringing back Armored Core with Armored Core 6. So I think they've always wanted to make Armored Core because they love it, but no one's ever bought it before, so we'll see.
They announced ages ago they were doing a new one. I was surprised he didn't have it already, but more polish, and you see how well Elden Ring done. So maybe it is your thinking, Dave. Like, oh, we're doing Armored Core now. Will everyone buy it?
Yeah, this is the test. This is the From Software test.
This is going to be so interesting to see how this goes, because I have not heard anyone forever talk about Armored Core or wanting more Armored Core, and obviously now From Software is very, very big and trendy. It's like, oh yeah, we love Armored Core, we want this, and you're like, ooh, I don't know if you do.
Let's see, Let's see.
Yeah, let's see how this goes.
Yes.
Yeah, the thing is, for me, I haven't played an Armored Core game for quite a while. Like, I played them on PS2 and I liked them on PS2. My worry is because of the audience, they make basically Armored Core Souls.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Captain.
And the combat and everything and stuff is like a Souls game. So someone that liked the previous Armored Core games, I would sort of be put off because it's going to be more, could be more Souls like. But you see vice versa as well. If they make it for like the previous games, and then some of the like Souls games comes in and play it, and like this is what From Software does, or whatever. So
I'll make a prediction here though. Chris will buy this game and won't finish it.
He'll probably still win Game of the Year. And the last thing I'm going to talk about, because my throat hurts from all this talking, Chris's Game of the Year next year, he's already decided what it's going to be, and that's Final Fantasy 16, which is coming out in June.
Yeah, June 22nd.
Still not interested, because it's not Final Fantasy anymore, is it? So
I thought the older trailers were better than this as well. I don't know if you guys felt the same.
As soon as they showed combat, I was out, to be honest.
Yeah,
because it's not Final Fantasy anymore. It's whatever it wants to be. Like, it's Dark Souls. Or it's The Witcher. It's not Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy's turn-based, Chris. You can get on your Zelda high horse about Breath of the Wild, and I'm going to get on mine about Final Fantasy.
Did this do it for you, Pengy? Did this get it going?
This is really good. I'm very excited for Final Fantasy 16. I'll be getting that deluxe edition on June 22nd, and I'll be playing plenty of this.
You booking the time off or already?
Oh yeah,
I'll be ringing in sick. Don't you worry.
already got booked in. Obviously, they got brought out Yoshi P from one of the main dudes from Final Fantasy 14 out to announce it as well. So all good. Because it is from that team. It is from Creative Business Unit 3, so...
Just rolls off the tongue.
What a name that is as well. I saw that come up on the screen. I was like, Christ.
Yeah.
Right.
Decision.
Yeah.
And that is the Game Awards.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very exciting. I'm sure we'll dissect some of this a bit more on the weeks that go by. But, yes, is there anything you guys want to add before we end the show?
No, I thought it was quite a fun little show. I watched it like broken up into segments. To be fair, I didn't sit down and watch the whole 3 hours in one go, which probably helped it for me. I watched like an hour here and there. I thought I thought it was quite fun. Not everything was for me, but then it doesn't have to be, does it? There's enough stuff there like Jedi Survivor and Judas and stuff like that I thought was exciting. So yeah, I thought it was a decent little show and. It was nice. It wasn't like 4 hours long like they normally are.
Absolutely, Pengy.
Yeah, good. Pretty good showing. Quite a lot. I like the look of that was shown, and very exciting times.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. Again, there's some stuff shown. It is what it is with the Game Awards, right? I'm looking forward to hopefully Xbox doing their own show in January, and then more games is always more time we don't have.
Yeah. There's also a lot of stuff getting dates as well. That seems to be like the main thing.
It's brave, isn't it? It's so brave, considering that this year has been the year of the delays.
Yeah. So you've got to give it a date at some point, don't you?
I guess so.
It's good to see stuff that we'd already seen, but actually get dates. It's exciting.
Lovely. Well, thank you if you've got this far watching the show. Obviously, next week will be the start of the Christmas rundown. So we'll probably have some more evergreen episodes going forward, and then we'll be doing our Game of the Year discussion ourselves in January after the year has ended, because that's how can you have a Game of the Year if the year isn't over, Craig? But yes,
heresy.
If you like something in the Game Awards, please let us know in the comments below, and we will see you next week. Bye now.
Bye.